Hi, this is Mustard. A few days ago, Insane Clown Posse put out a new EP called Yum Yum's Lure. The day the album came out, I took it upon myself to transcribe all the lyrics, as the album didn't come with a lyrics booklet. Although there were a few lines I wasn't able to figure out, I got most of them, sometimes needing to listen to certain lines a dozen of times before realizing what they say. So listening to the album this closely, I noticed a few things in the album's final track, Clownheads. Now, the first two things are fairly insignificant, but the third thing is, I believe, a secret message hidden in the outro. If you want to skip ahead, there are timestamps in the description, but I think the first two are still pretty interesting and reveal some behind-the-scenes stuff. So first of all, and this is the most minor observation, there's a couplet here where Violent J says, "Talk to it, your entire life could start changing. If it likes you, it'll turn your luck around." And then in the background he says, "On the contrary." But then the following line isn't contrary to that one at all, it just describes the Clownheads in more detail. Like I would expect him to say something like, "If it likes you, you'll have good luck, but on the contrary, if you don't treat it well, you'll have bad luck," something like that. So I speculate that the following lines are originally something else, but then they changed it without getting rid of the "on the contrary" part. Maybe this is just a mistake and I'm overthinking it or whatever. The next thing I found is a bit more substance to it though. So the second thing I discovered listening to this song is that the audio sounds a bit weird every time Violent J says the number 13.
13 colorful clown heads for the color red on all 13. Team clown heads, all 13 sensational.
It's kind of difficult to hear, but as someone who edits the podcast and has to replace single words, it sounds like the word 13 is edited in. And if you listen carefully, you can hear an S sound for a fraction of a second in the last two clips.
For the color red on all 13. Team clown heads, all 13 sensational.
Like it sounds like he's saying all's 13.
All 13, all 13, all 13, all 13.
Hopefully you guys can hear that. I've done edits similar to this, and cutting in single words seamlessly is a lot harder than it seems because so many words blend together that you don't really realize. Like the L noise in all is completely connected to the beginning of the next word. So I assume that they originally said 17 clown heads and all 17. It could be 16, I guess, but 17 is ICP's favorite number, and they tend to use it whenever they need a random number to put in a song. So, some quick speculation. In case you don't know, the song is about 13 magical clown paintings that Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope sell to people, and each verse is just them explaining the paintings. J and Shaggy painted them themselves with their own blood mixed into the paint. Each one has a different personality, and if you treat it well, your life will be good, but if you try to sell the painting or shove it in your attic or something, you'll basically be cursed. Now, the interesting thing about the song is that a few months before it came out, ICP revealed that they actually plan on selling clown paintings. And the details that they described in this announcement basically matched up exactly with how they described the paintings in the song, even to the extent that they claim the clown paintings are enchanted or cursed because of the blood and the magic of the Dark Carnival and stuff. So I speculate that this Clownhead song was made before they planned on actually selling paintings, or at least before they announced it. Once they had the plan, they realized that 17 paintings is a lot, so they changed it to just be 13, which is the lowest number they could use in the song without completely changing some of the rhymes. Now on to what I consider the most interesting discovery. The final track on Yum Yum's Lure is over 7 minutes long, but only the first 4 minutes is actually the song Clownheads. The rest of it is a weird album outro that just repeats the words "Yum Yum Bedlam, this way comes." In case you don't know, Yum Yum's Lure is only an EP released in preparation for the next big album, Yum Yum Bedlam. Over the years, many EPs from ICP have had some kind of message at the end, often revealing something about the LP or Joker's card they plan on releasing next. This Yum Yum's Lure outro is especially reminiscent of It's Coming, the final track from ICP's 1994 Christmas EP. That track was just 4 minutes of a beat with someone repeating the words, "Riddle box, his time is near, he's coming." That track doesn't offer any new details about the upcoming album at the time, but it does have a hidden message if you play the song backwards.
Suck my dick.
So back to Yum Yum's Lure. Originally I was going to end the video after the 13 Clownheads thing, and I was going to start the video saying something like, "Yeah, there aren't any hidden messages in the outro, but I did find some interesting stuff in the song itself." But before I finished planning this video out, just to make sure, I decided to go ahead and listen to the outro one more time, and I found this. This is how the album ends. It's a very chaotic ending, but I was able to get rid of a lot of the extra noise by using the vocal reduction and isolation effect in Audacity, and removing the center. This basically gets rid of everything that you can hear in both ears. Now listen. This is definitely audio of someone talking, although very, very distorted. The second part here is mostly the same thing as the first one, except it's cut off early, so I'll just focus on the first part. Although it's worth noting that the second part has less noise than the first part does, so if you want to try to figure out what it says based on that, listen to both of them, but the second part doesn't have the whole thing. Now, I listened to this clip literally hundreds of times trying to edit it to make it more clear and stuff, but I just couldn't figure out what I was saying. In the description, I'll have a link to a video of just this sound clip as well as some edited versions, and hopefully someone can figure it out. Maybe try messing with the audio yourself, see if you can make it more clear. I have several guesses of what this says, which I'll also put in the description, but I really can't figure out anything with any kind of certainty whatsoever except for the ending of it. I hear 16 days. Or maybe 15 days. The kind of distortion this clip has makes F's and S's sound pretty much the same, so I'm not completely sure, but I'm almost certain that it's saying either 15 or 16 days. Now, some background information. The album Yum Yum Bedlam was announced in early October 2021, with ICP claiming it would release on Christmas. Later, they said the album was delayed, but also that they would put out a new EP called Yum Yum's Lure on Christmas instead. Once Christmas passed, Violent J claimed it would be out in at most 2 weeks, but it wasn't finally ready until February 17, 2021. Because of all these delays, I think most people, including myself, assumed that Yum Yum Bedlam would be delayed a second time and wouldn't be out for at least a month, maybe not even until summer, especially considering how long it took for them just to put out an EP. When Yum Yum Bedlam was delayed for the first time, ICP claimed it would be out on March 5th, but that was the same video where they claimed Yum Yum's Lure would be out on Christmas, nearly 2 months before its actual release date. However, March 5th happens to be 16 days after February 17th, the day this EP was released. So I think the message is saying something along the lines of Yum Yum's Bedlam comes out in 16 days, or something that means roughly the same thing. Now, I'm a bit skeptical about this for a few reasons. One, obviously because there have already been so many delays, but also because we haven't seen any official announcements on ICP's Twitter or anything about a new album coming out. Also, with Ding Ding Doll's inclusion on Yum Yum's Lure, it looks like we don't even have a single out for the main album. Perhaps they're preparing for a surprise release, with surprise in quotation marks since the release date was already announced, although only as a part of a 1 hour long casual YouTube video and not any kind of official announcement. Now, if you bought a digital copy of Yum Yum's Lure, the folder they give you is called Yum Yum's Lure Masters 12921, which I assume means the album was finished on January 29th. So even if you take into account the supposed issues they had with getting CDs printed and shipped, this album was finished just a few weeks ago, so to me it seems wild that they would have another album released so close to this one. However, there's some speculation as to exactly what this EP is. It's possible that Yum Yum's Lure is just outtakes from Yum Yum Bedlam, and during the time they kept working and delaying Yum Yum's Lure, they were actually working on Yum Yum Bedlam, throwing away any songs they didn't like onto Yum Yum's Lure. Based on what I've heard from some inside sources, that seems very plausible, but I'll just go ahead and say it's purely speculation. But yeah, I guess we'll see in a couple of weeks. Maybe some of you guys were like, hey, this is stupid, they already told us the release date, this isn't any new information. Hopefully not. Either way, I think this hidden message is a really cool discovery, and hopefully someone can figure out what it actually says. Like I said, I'll put some of my guesses in the description because I don't want to say something here and end up being completely wrong about what it says. Please let me know if you can figure it out or have any guesses. Actually, listen to it yourself before you read my guesses and try to figure it out from scratch, because reading my guesses might make you only hear what I hear. Try to hear something new, I don't know. There's also a link to just the audio clip in the description, as I said. Also, if there's anything I forgot to mention in this video, I'll put that in there too. Thanks for watching. Oh, also, so I mentioned how I transcribed the lyrics to the album, but there's still a lot of lyrics I couldn't figure out, so if you know any missing lines from the album, or even a line that I just got wrong, please add it to a suggestion on Genius Lyrics, which is the website I use for transcribing. And make sure you add it as a lyric proposal, not as an annotation, by either clicking the Edit Lyrics button or by highlighting a line and clicking this little pencil here. I transcribed most of Yum Yum's Lure as well as the House Party Peep Show EP that also came out this week, and any help is appreciated with figuring out those lines. If you guys like this video, I might start doing more analysis stuff like this. Recently, I carefully examined the entire Tales from the Lotus Pod album, finding samples, references to witchcraft, visual text, and a couple subtle differences between the two versions that I think most people haven't noticed. So let me know if that's something you want to see. Alright, that's it. Bye.